I think I said this in reference to something else. I am self-initiated. No lineage controls me. Nobody ever came knocking on my door and said, you shouldn't talk about this stuff. Nobody has ever done that to me. So I have the weird feeling, and I don't believe it, but I have the feeling that it's like I discovered it. Because nobody tells me, nobody comes over and says, hey, you're on our territory, or don't talk about that. Didn't you know that we Mandayans have been doing this for 10,000 years? So, and I've been talking about it since '82 in public, and it's still a secret. It's still a secret. It's the secret that can't be told.
And with that, let's now rewind this talk back to the beginning and join Terence and a few friends on a June day in 1994. And just for fun, try to recall what you were doing that month.
Psilocin and DMT are not the same thing, and they don't actually degrade into the same thing. So they are sort of like parallel pathways in the brain. DMT is by far the most dramatic of all of these hallucinogens. And in some ways, if we only had DMT, we could do just fine, thank you. I mean, it's clumsy in some situations, but it definitely takes you from A to Z with all the stops in between. It's also interesting in that it is so how can I put it, socially transportable, in that it only lasts 10 minutes. Well, so our critics can surely invest 10 minutes. I mean, it's not addictive, so what argument can there be against it? If you're going to take up the cudgels of drug oppression and lead a lifelong crusade against the evils of hallucinogenesis, surely you will not sully yourself too dramatically if you just invest 10 miserable minutes to try and understand the phenomenon from the inside. And of course, if we get that 10 minutes, we have them. Because I don't believe that this side of the yawning grave, there is a more dramatic experience that you can go through. I mean, maybe surviving the crash of a 747 or something, but these are high-risk activities. Smoking DMT is not a high-risk activity. You could do the whole thing in 15 minutes, start to finish. And yet what happens is it is more dramatic than a flying saucer invasion. It takes you into a direct three-dimensional confrontation with an alien intelligence of some sort. And it raises questions about the after-death state, whether or not consciousness can exist without a body, the nature of the alien, the nature of our place in the cosmos. It's very, very dramatic. And I think it is, we said yesterday, the inner eye opens on the landscape of time. Well, when the inner eye is illuminated by the light of DMT, then essentially what you get is a fast forward of the rest of universal history squeezed down into about a minute and a half. Because even though the DMT trip, takes 7 minutes and takes 5 minutes to get over, the really important part is it has a duration on the order of 100 seconds or something. And the longest 100 seconds you will ever know, because that's how you get people to do it. how I was gotten to do it. I only asked one question when they brought me DMT. I said, how long does it last? And he said, 3 to 5 minutes. Bring it on, Sam. And, never having recovered then from that decision,